prior to you incarnating into this genetic vehicle, into this flesh suit, you were made to drink from a cup of forgetfulness before incarnation into the flesh as humans. This cup of forgetfulness wipes remembrance clean so that when born, the spirits enter flesh as a clean slate. The accumulation of memory begins anew with entrance into the womb and fusion with material form. Entering the flesh is much like putting on a suit of armor for the spirit. Bodies are only a temporary housing for what would be the duration of our existence in the second world age and third dimensional timeline. The flesh is our second life and is the chance to redeem ourselves to the glory of what would be the third world age, which is an eternal age that has no end. If we can just aspire to the required righteousness necessary to be counted among the Lord's most elect angels, maybe, just maybe, Father, Mother God will then count us worthy enough to have part in salvation and escape all those things that are coming upon the earth, for what is coming are horrors unimagined and not witnessed by humanity since the days of Noah. Now, George Lucas quite naturally believes that he wrote Star Wars. But in reality, he was told telepathically what to write. In episodes 4 through 6, inclusively, and then forced to make those episodes first by the very force to which the Star Wars films refer, as a very important step in the preparation of mankind for the long-awaited truth about the real reasons for human life on Earth. Many people, a vast majority of people, perhaps in rare moments of introspection, muse to themselves, what on earth am I doing here? The meaning of life and its purpose is contained in this information dissemination broadcast from the Umbanda New Earth Ashram for compassion and strength and spiritual technology disseminations to todos los entes del mundo. George Lucas, not understanding that he was being told telepathically, thinks that Star Wars came from his imagination, which is a perfectly normal human reaction that many people have had over the centuries. Rudyard Kipling thought that he wrote If. Oscar Wilde thought that he wrote The Picture of Dorian Gray. Joe Dorian thought that he wrote the words to The Impossible Dream, and the list is endless. Refer to Tesla talking about there is a center, there is a place within the universe from which ideas emanate. Tesla admitted that all of his ideas came to him from the universe. Now, although Star Wars is set as a sci-fi in a distant galaxy to make it entertaining, it actually refers to this galaxy and life on Earth and contains the truth, which is demonstrated symbolically, as much as the Master Yeshua, the great emissary of light, spoke in parables and allegories, symbolically. What Luke Skywalker learns during the Star Wars films, episodes 4 through 6, inclusive, is what each and every one of you has to learn to be able to survive, get out of here, and go home. Now, the other episodes that came later, 1 through 3, are just meaningless fiction. But the first movies made, 4 through 6, basically lets us know what we have to do as Jedi to be released from this prison reform school that has no bars, no physical bars. The prison reform school of this planet is created with laws of karma, cause and effect, sowing and reaping, just deserts. Evil be to him who thinks it. Do not judge so that you will not be judged, real prophet of God. If you judge anyone by any judgment other than those that God gave to Moses, you will be judged in the same way, real prophet of God, by God. Let him who is not a sinner throw the first stone? No one threw a stone because all human beings are sinners. Now, after making a study of the situation, God, Mother, Father God, and the elders of the Morningstar decided to create a reform school far enough away from the Morningstar where the chosen period they could safely try to teach Lucifer and his angels, those dark Sith of the dark side of the Force, Lucifer and his angels, that is who we are, who we incarnated upon this planet and put on this genetic vehicle to learn to be good, whereupon we can all go home. The objective was for each and every one of them to learn individually to be like God, which later on in history, because people had lost their way and couldn't find it again by themselves, had to be demonstrated, had to be shown by Master Yeshua, Jesus, son of Zeus, but Yeshua, the first Christ, whose teachings taught the only way that you can be taught. I am the way home, the truth, and the life. Not one man can come to the Father, can go home unless he is like me. Do not be spiritually lazy, fundamental Christians. Jesus did not die for your sin. He merely came in fulfillment of the law. And I say merely, but in the greatest sense, the greatest potentiality of merely. He came to show the way for you to be like him. Unselfish, humble, kind, loving, and considerate to everyone, including his enemies, and willing to sacrifice his own human life for the benefit of everyone. This needs 100% faith in God's promise that there is life after human death, and you to trust him enough to follow Yeshua's example, to earn your right to regain your divinity, your immortality, and go home. This is the purpose of why we're here. Not to have how many followers you have on YouTube or any kind of, who's going to be president and who you're going to get in fights with about that. No. It is for you to learn how to be like the Christ, your own version of the Christ, and to raise yourself and be released from this reform school and go home to God. Namaste. Namaskaram. I ain't lying.